Joining us now for more is Texas Republican Senator Ted Cruz, chair of the Senate Commerce Committee. Thank you, as always, for your time, Senator. Tomorrow marks the president's 100th day in office, which is historically seen as a moment to evaluate the term to date. So let's do that. Let's start with the economy and the tariff whiplash. You've criticized the Trump administration over the tariffs, which now are largely paused for the next 2.5 months, except on China. We've heard from farmers, small businesses, and everyday Americans, many worried tariffs will affect their bottom lines. How would you rate the Trump administration's performance on the economy in these first 100 days?
Well, listen, I think when it comes to tariffs and standing up for American business, the president has shown enormous leadership, fighting to bring manufacturing jobs back to the United States, and in particular, standing up to China. And I think every step we can take to de-link our economy from China, to bring jobs back from China to America, those are good and positive steps. What I have urged the president, I think the president has a fork in the road, a real choice right now, with a very good option in front of him and a very bad option in front of him. The very good option is that I think President Trump today has enormous, unprecedented leverage to negotiate with our trading partners and to get much lower tariffs for U.S. goods and services at trading countries all around the world. And I have urged President Trump, go down that road, use that leverage. Doing so, I think, would be an historic victory for American jobs, for American workers. And it is because the president has threatened tariffs, he's got the leverage to produce a dramatic reductions in tariffs worldwide. There is a second possible road, and that is a road that envisions high tariffs forever, that envisions high American tariffs and high retaliatory tariffs from our trading partners. I think that second road would be disastrous. I think that would hurt the state of Texas. I think it would hurt the country. There are voices within the Trump administration advocating both paths. And so what I've told the president over and over again is choose path number one. It'll be a huge victory for American jobs and American workers.
We have to be real, though. The cost of everything these days is more than it has been. And you've warned on your podcast, The Verdict with Ted Cruz, that you have some concerns. The Republicans could face, quote, a bloodbath if the tariffs cause a recession. Are you worried that your party could suffer significant losses next year if the Trump administration goes forward with all these tariffs?
Well, look, I don't think that will happen if the president goes down the path of using the leverage to negotiate deals and lowering trade barriers. If we see very high tariffs forever, then we do risk a recession. And listen, at the end of the day, tariffs are taxes, and I don't support higher taxes. I'm fine with the president, and I support the president using the threat of tariffs to get our trading partners to lower the tariffs they put on U.S. goods and services. But I think higher taxes forever is a really bad outcome.
We also have to talk about immigration. The numbers of crossings at the southern border are way down by 94%. Yeah. For those migrants, though, that are already here, judges across the country, including at the Supreme Court, have ruled they are entitled to be notified about deportation within a reasonable time that would allow them to challenge the move in court. So I'm curious, how do you think these proceedings should be handled?
Well, listen, I think the president's victory on securing the border is historic. As you noted, over 90% decrease in illegal border crossings. You know, my favorite thing President Trump said at the State of the Union address earlier this year is he pointed out that last year Joe Biden has said it was impossible to secure the border unless Congress passed new legislation. And President Trump said it turns out we didn't need new legislation, we just needed a new president. I think that's exactly right. We now have an administration that is enforcing the law. I will say, for those who are here illegally, this administration is going to enforce the law. If you're a criminal, if you're a murderer, if you're a rapist, if you're a child molester, if you're a Venezuelan gang member, they will find you, they will arrest you, they will deport you.
But what about for those migrants who are not violent criminals?
Well, if they're illegal immigrants, you have no entitlement to stay. The rule of law matters.
Before we let you go today, there is a bit of bipartisan good news that we want to talk about. You and Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota co-sponsored a bill to protect teenagers from deepfake revenge porn. This time tomorrow, it should actually be on the president's desk for his signature. We don't hear a lot of bipartisan collaboration these days, so I'm curious, how often are y'all working across party lines?
Well, actually, a lot more than you would think. My legislation, the Take It Down Act, it's already passed the Senate 100-0. Tonight, it's going to pass the House of Representatives, and President Trump is going to sign it into law. It protects the victims of these non-consensual intimate images. It also gives you a right to demand that that garbage be taken down, because many of the tech platforms refuse to take the content down. This gives a legal right, and it protects young girls and young women, and it's a huge bipartisan victory that we're winning tonight.
Senator Ted Cruz, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.